Some people are not tired of the present, but of a body that learned to brace itself in childhood and was never allowed to release. The tension did not start today. It never ended. Some wounds do not exist in memory. They exist in reflex, a glance, a tone. A moment of silence is enough to make the heart tighten before thought appears. Many assume this means they have a personality problem. In reality, they are living inside a survival mode that is no longer needed, but never turned off. You are not lacking advice. You are lacking one timely confirmation. You are not wrong. You are trying to survive. This video is 4 letters sent to the past, so the present can stop repeating the same pain. What unfolds in daily conflict now finally has a clear name, and it grows directly out of what came before. You say yes while your body is already drained, because your needs were trained early to stay invisible to avoid trouble. You apologize before understanding the situation, not out of politeness, but because apology once reduced risk and restored safety. It became a reflex, not a choice. When questions turn direct, your body freezes. Speaking up still feels dangerous, as if silence is the only protection left. The cost is not just exhaustion. It is the slow collapse of boundaries, the thinning of your voice, the quiet disappearance of yourself from your own life. These behaviors once kept you safe as a child. If left untouched, they will keep stealing what adulthood requires to live fully. This first letter grows directly out of the patterns just described, returning to the moment they were first learned. Letter 1 is addressed to the child who was forced to grow up too early, long before rest or care were options. You became the adult in the room when you were still small. You learned to read moods, absorb tension, carry responsibility, keep the peace, keep the house calm, even when none of that belonged to you. That effort was not maturity. It was survival shaped by necessity. Your exhaustion is not proof of weakness. It is the cost of holding weight meant for others. You did not need to trade childhood, joy, or innocence to keep everyone else stable. One truth must be named clearly. You were not born to be a shield for other people's emotions. That burden follows you into adulthood. Rest feels unsafe. Asking for help feels undeserved. Worth still seems tied to how much you can hold without breaking. Following that first return to childhood, this second letter moves deeper into the same wound and speaks to the child who learned to believe everything was their fault. Letter 2 is written to the child who watched adult anger, coldness, and sudden shifts and quietly decided they must be the cause, even while trying to behave perfectly to prevent it. Those reactions were never created by you. You were not responsible for regulating adult emotions, and you were never meant to calm chaos by shrinking yourself. Taking the blame felt safer than facing unpredictability, because if it was your fault, control still seemed possible. This truth needs to land gently and clearly. You blamed yourself not because you were wrong, but because self-blame offered a sense of safety. That pattern continues now. The adult you became doubts themselves, apologizes too quickly, and tolerates mistreatment while believing it is deserved. Building on the weight of self, blame just named, this third letter turns toward another survival lesson learned early. Letter 3 is written to the child who discovered that silence was the safest way to remain connected. You learned to swallow words to avoid upsetting others, because speaking carried real risk. Punishment, distance, or emotional withdrawal followed honesty. So quiet became protection. That choice made sense at the time. What needs to be spoken now is different. You have the right to express thoughts, feelings, and boundaries without paying for it through loss of connection. Your needs are not a threat, and your emotions were never an exaggeration. One sentence must land clearly. Silence helped you survive, but silence can also take your life. That pattern remains. As an adult, you know what you need but cannot say it. Freezing appears in meetings, arguments, and even inside the closest relationships. After the silence learned for survival, this fourth letter arrives at the ache beneath it all. Letter 4 is written to the child who kept waiting to be chosen, believing love had to be earned. You never needed to be agreeable, useful, or easy to keep in order to stay. Real love does not demand self-erasure as an entry fee. When adults failed to protect you, that failure belonged to them. It was never proof that you were less valuable or unworthy of priority. From this moment forward, an adult finally chooses you, not when you perform well, but even when you are tired, confused, or afraid. One truth anchors this letter. You do not need to be chosen by everyone. You only need to be chosen by yourself. Being chosen late still saves lives, because it ends a lifetime of chasing just to avoid abandonment. From that act of choosing yourself, the meaning of writing these letters becomes clear. Writing is not about repairing the past, but about stopping it from steering every decision in the present. Each letter returns responsibility to its rightful place, giving blame back where it belongs and lifting burdens off your shoulders. With every page, you stop betraying your feelings to keep others comfortable. The adult can breathe again today. Beyond the meaning of the letters, this ending brings everything to rest. You do not need to write beautifully, because this is not an essay. It is an act of choosing yourself. You do not need to finish all 4 letters at once, because safety is learned slowly, not in a single day. All that matters is beginning with one clear sentence you once needed to hear. Healing is not becoming someone new. It is the first moment you stop abandoning yourself when you need yourself most.